I'm here with Peter, and we're standing in front of the Newstead Courthouse. This fine example is one of three that were built. This one was built in 1863. The other two were built in...
I don't know when they were built, but one was built in Rutherglen and the other one was built in Vaughan.
The one in Vaughan no longer exists, but the one in Rutherglen has been extensively modified. So this is a fine example of the original courthouse you see here today. But Newstead was not a very rich gold area. It was basically a good area for the crossing of the Loddon River, and many of the miners came through here in search of gold, but making their way to the areas of Castlemaine and the Mount Alexander diggings.
The courthouse behind us, did we say was decommissioned?
No.
No, but it was decommissioned on the 11th of November in 1981.
Okay, so now we're 1853, and the first hotel was built on the Loddon River. And then they decided,
not quite on the river.
On the side of the banks.
I would say probably near the banks of the river.
And so they decided to build a town here. And so we're going to walk around and discover Newstead and see what other buildings we can find on the main street and around the area.
And I think they do have a cafe, so there's about to be a coffee, I think.
Somewhere along the way, there's always a coffee.
There's always a coffee.
Come along with us.
Bye.
So there was even a railway station that was built here in 1874, and eventually it ceased. The train came from Castlemaine and made its way to Maryborough, and I'm not quite sure when it actually was ceased.
And look what we have discovered here in Newstead. It is a horse trough to Annis and George Bills. Now, as the story goes, we know what they did in their estate. They left a bequest to have these troughs built around Australia. There's hundreds of them around Australia, and we've seen quite a few of them in our day. But at Newstead, we have another fine example to Annis and George. Good on you guys.
So we've stopped at the little Dig Cafe on our walk to get a coffee and some ginger fluff. So pretty much an old recipe. Peter remembers his mum making ginger fluffs. So let's dig in and see what they're like.
Ginger fluff. Well, it's sort of like a sponge tasting of ginger with lashings of cream. But this one didn't have enough sponge. So much for the ginger fluff. I saw a bakery across the road, so I thought I'd have to try something else. Little apple pie. Bye. Well, it is very fitting that I have a photograph taken in front of the Crown Hotel in Newstead. It is the King's birthday long weekend in Victoria, and so therefore my little tribute to the King in front of the Crown Hotel. Now, it was originally built in 1866 and named the Ship Inn. Don't know where it got that name from. I think it's a long, long way from any ship that I can see. Bye.
In 1947, Giovanni, a Polish immigrant, came to Australia and opened up his business here. He was into glove making, and in 1967 he moved his business to Castlemaine. Okay, well, I'm here finally virtually at our last stop, and we have the Uniting Church behind me, Uniting Church of England, which was built in 1868. And to my right behind Peter
is another church, and it was relocated here in what year, Joe?
in 1949.
49, but I believe it was built in 1907.
And it is, so it's a Methodist church. So we've had the opportunity to actually run into a lady who's opened up the church for us, so we can actually have a look in the interior whilst it's under renovations. So we've come to the end of our walk, and if you feel so inclined to walk around Newstead, there is an information leaflet on the Heritage Walk of Newstead, so you can pick that up at either one of the information centres in Castlemaine or some locality here in Newstead, or go online and download a copy of the Heritage Walk. So that's all from us today, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye folks.